Hello.
Hello, I'm Dr. Mahvesh, one of the doctor working here in this GP surgery. Could you please confirm your name and age for me?
Yes, doctor. I am Fan.
All right. And San, could you please tell me your age?
I'm 34, doctor.
All right. Thank you so much for this information. I can see that you have been here for your surgery.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, all right. And before that, we are start discussing about your surgery. I would like to ask you questions to you. All right. Okay. And may I know at the first place what was the reason of that surgery and what was the diagnosis?
Actually, doctor, few weeks back, I came here because I was having severe pain in my tummy. And then I was admitted here and I received some antibiotics.
So, how are you doing now?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm fine now.
So, do you still have a pain in your tummy?
No.
So, are you feeling nauseous or by any chance have you thrown out recently?
No.
Okay, okay, all right. And may I know that what was the diagnosis?
Well, they told me I'm having some stones in my gallbladder.
Okay, okay, all right. And apart of antibiotic, do they give you any other treatment at that time?
Yeah, they gave me other treatments as well, like painkillers, etc.
Okay, okay, all right. And have anyone discussed that procedure with you, that how it would be going to do, and do anyone took some blood test from you?
They have not discussed the procedure, but yeah, they took
Yes.
some tests from me today.
Yes, yes, all right. And I'm here to discuss the procedure with you. All right, so don't worry about it. And may I know that apart of this thing, how's your health otherwise?
Yeah, I'm okay.
That's good to know that you're fine. And have you been diagnosed with any other long-running medical condition?
No.
Okay, like any increased blood pressure, any liver problem?
No.
Any increased cholesterol level?
No.
Okay, and are you taking any kind of medication apart of that painkiller and antibiotic that you received?
No.
Like any blood thinner?
No.
Okay, perfectly fine. And have you ever underwent for any surgery before?
No.
Okay. Okay, perfectly fine. And I'm going to ask you a question about your lifestyle here. May I know that do you smoke?
No.
Do you drink alcohol?
No.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And may I know that who do you live with?
I'm living with my partner and kids.
Okay, okay, all right. And is there anyone with you that they can help you and with by your daily tasks, with everything after the surgery?
Yeah, my partner will take care of that.
That's good to know. That's good to know. Okay, and thank you so much for this information. So that the surgery that decided for you, it's a laparoscopic cholecystectomy. Do you have any idea about it?
No, doctor. What is that?
Yes, I'm going to tell you. The laparoscopic cholecystectomy is a surgery. In a simple language, we are saying it a keyhole surgery. Okay, and we are making a very small incision in it. Sometimes we are also saying it a incision-less surgery as well. Okay,
What is
because
incision, doctor?
yeah, in which in this type of surgery we are giving very small cut. Incision is a cut. Okay, we are giving very small cut in a tummy. Okay, through which we are entering few tubes in a tummy. All right, and we are filling up the tummy with the gas. Okay, it helps us to visualize the all structure. Are you with me?
Yes, doctor. I'm listening.
Okay, am I clear so far?
Yes.
Okay, and by through these tubes we are getting the instrument in, and we are removing the gallbladder.
Okay, doctor. So how
Okay,
many cuts
okay,
you
all
will
right.
be making?
These are usually we are making 2 cuts. Okay, and these are very small cuts, and it will be healed properly after the surgery, and it may leave a small mark behind, and sometimes not.
Oh, okay,
Okay,
doctor. So
okay.
the mark will be very clear.
The mark will be it's a small mark. Okay, the size of mark will be very small, and we try to do it that it will not leave any mark behind. And if you worried about the mark, then we can provide you with this few creams, and it will help to resolve that mark completely.
Oh, really? It
Okay,
can go away completely. That's
we
great.
try our best. It actually it's we try our best. We provide, we give the mark in that way that it not leave behind
6 minutes.
a big obvious. Okay, we try to give a small mark and it not leave a big scar behind, and we can provide you with the several creams after that as well. Okay, and we try our best, and along with that it vary person to person as well. Are you with me? Okay,
Okay.
are you with me? And if your diet is good, if your healing power is good, then definitely the mark will be, it not very visible after that.
Okay.
Okay, okay. And do you know that it's a daycare surgery, and you have to stay there just for a 1 day? Have you aware about it?
No, doctor. Is it a daycare
Yes,
surgery?
it's a daycare surgery. You need to stay in the hospital for a 1 day, and if everything went smooth, if you're doing well, everything is fine, your observation is fine at that day, then we can send back to you home.
Okay.
All right. Okay, and you told me that you have a good support system at home, and your husband is there to do, your partner is there to do the take care of you. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, and there are few things you need to be careful about. Care of the wound is very important. Okay, you can take a bath within a 24 to 48 hours. All right, after the surgery. Okay, all right. Are you with me?
Yes.
So, okay, but try to cover up your site of the cut with a good proper waterproof dressing.
Okay, doctor.
All right.
When
And
I will
is
be
there,
able to go to my job?
it's a valid concern here, and we're gonna provide you with the leave. Okay, and you need to take a proper
Time's
rest
up.
for a few weeks.
Okay, time's up, Dr. Mavish.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Okay, so thank you. First of all, I would like to know from you, Dr. Mavish, how was it?
I don't
What do you
think
think?
so. It's good. I don't think so. It's good.
Why?
Because I'm thinking there are so many concerns I need to I need to discuss about the wound care, and I need to discuss about the discuss about the shower. I just need to discuss about the concern that how early the patient need to be immobilized, and
How
discuss
do you
about
know
the
that it
driving.
was my concern? How do you know these were my concerns?
It could be one of the possibility.
Okay, but then I could be having 100 concerns. Can you answer all of them?
No, it's not possible in this time limit, but
So
I think there are few things. I need to ask the concern first. I think.
yeah, perfect. So instead of going from one concern to another concern and thinking what patient might be thinking, don't you think it would be better idea that you are asking from the patient what is going in his mind? Maybe his concern was only job. Maybe she wanted to know about driving. Maybe she had some other concerns and you were not thinking about that, right?
Yes, you're right. You're right. I need to
Right?
ask about the concern here first.
So instead of predicting the concerns and answering them one by one, according to your prediction, it will be a good idea to ask from the patient.
Yes, you're right. Absolutely right. I
Right?
agree with you.
Because you were
I agree.
talking and talking, although your time management was really good, specifically in data gathering part. I was looking at that. You took 4 minutes, almost 4 minutes for that. That was okay. After that, you were having 4 minutes for management. But since you were talking
Yes.
and talking and talking, and you were not letting me speak about my concerns, so still some things
Yes.
were left unanswered.
Yes. Yes. That's
Yeah.
right. If I ask you earlier, then I can answer the appropriate concern. It's a better
Yeah,
way. Yes.
yeah. So there
Yes.
are some tips for that. In order to make the
Yeah.
conversation a two-way conversation, there are some tips for that, right?
Yes. Yes.
So keep involving the patient by asking them questions
Okay. Okay. All right.
instead of moving from one concern to another. If patient is
Sure.
not asking you anything, and you are asking him about the concern, and patient is not saying anything, in that case you can discuss with him about anything that is coming in your mind which is relevant to your case. But
Sure.
at least ask from the patient, and then accordingly you will be addressing the concerns. Okay.
Sure. Sure. That's absolutely right.
Another
Thank you so
thing,
much, Dr. Par.
you are
Yes.
welcome. And another thing is that even if this patient is admitted already, but still you should be verbalizing about examination, right? You told me that you
Okay.
asked me about investigation. I told you already done, but still, when patient is already admitting, then mentioning about examination is like, so ideally, not ideally, I would like to review you as well, I will be taking your vitals, doing general physical examination, and I will have a
Okay.
look at your tummy.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay, so mention
Okay.
this examination.
Okay.
It will not take much time.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
After that,
Sure.
the first I will tell you about the things that you did in your station, and then we will be talking in detail about the station, right? So the
Sure.
scar thing. Oh, yeah, that was fine that you were telling me that scar is small. Scar would be small, but no mark behind, no mark will be left behind is a wrong statement. It is a false reassurance, because we know
Hmm.
even if it's a small cut, it's not a surgical cut, any other cut, like sometimes accidentally we can cut uh, our hand or anywhere. We can,
Hmm.
the kids keep on falling down, and if they have a cut
Hmm.
like that, it's not gone forever. It will be there, although with the passage of
Hmm.
time it will fade away, but it will not be gone
Hmm.
completely.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
why you
Yes.
have to be careful with your words, so that you are not
Sure.
giving false reassurance. Otherwise, this patient will come back after the surgery and he will say,
Hmm.
"Doctor, you told me that it will go away. Now do something and make it, fade."
Yes. Yes. You're right. Hmm.
And rest of the things, like everything was fine in your station. Just the thing was that only you were talking and you were not asking me anything. You were not involving me. It would be great if after giving the initial bit, like telling about the main procedure that we are going to do, lap poly for you, the keyhole surgery. It's a keyhole surgery. We are going to make
Yeah,
small
it's a
cuts in
keyhole
your tummy.
surgery.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
then we are going to remove the gallbladder from your tummy. Let me, and after telling me this bit, let me ask you some questions from you.
Okay.
If I am not saying anything, then it's up to you. You can cover anything according to your wish.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and actually, I have a one question here that in lab poly, it's vary to vary that how many ports we are going to in. Some surgeons are doing the lab poly with a one port, with a two port. Sometimes some surgeons it depend on expertise, and sometimes they require three port. So ideally, is this fine if I say two port means
2 to 3.
two cuts,
It's written on
two to three?
NHS, so you can
Okay,
say
two
two
to
to three.
three.
Hmm?
Okay, I can vary this means two to three between because it's
Yeah.
very surgeon to surgeon and expertise that how many ports are they are going to put.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
okay,
you
Allah.
can tell that person that we are going to do a keyhole surgery. We are going to
Mm-hmm.
do 2 to 3 small holes, and then later on you can mention this thing as well. So sometimes if there is any complication, we know that like complications are there,
Yeah.
then we have to make it we have to give a bigger incision as well.
Hmm. Yes, you're right. If during the surgery if there is any complication developed, then we may need to extend the size of cut.
Yeah, we have to
Yes,
extend it.
sure. Hmm. Extended. Yes.
Okay. And
Mhm.
you can see the approach here for everyone. So first of all, like she did, that was good approach for all the counseling station. It is a very easier approach. Ask about the recap, what happened, what brought this patient to the hospital, then get some history about the current symptoms. Don't forget that. then talk about little bit about past medical history and lifestyle, and then talk about examination, and then start counseling. So check their understanding first. Always check their understanding first. It will make your life easier. Because if patient is already knowing about the diagnosis, well and good. If not, then tell him the diagnosis first and then talk about the surgery. Then this surgery is a keyhole surgery. We are going to make some small cuts in your tummy and we are going to remove the gallbladder through those cuts. This surgery is mostly done under general anesthesia. And after the surgery, we will close the cut, and it will be there. They will be very small, and these cuts will be covered, closed with stitches, and they will be covered with dressings. If patient is want to talk about these complications, then you can talk about them. If patient is saying an open question, Dr. Mavish, doctor, what are the complications of this procedure? Then instead of telling all of them, the best approach would be, although it's a safe procedure, but still it can lead to some complications sometime. May I know, is there any particular complication you are concerned about? If patient is saying yes and telling you the complication, for example, patient is telling you about pain, then address that first. And after addressing that pain, you can say anything else in your mind, then patient can give you another complication. If patient is not giving any specific concerns about the complication, then you can say you can name them. It can lead to infection. Sometimes the wound can get infected. Sometimes it can lead to pain, some damage or trauma to the surrounding areas. And sometimes blood clot is a very rare complication here for this kind of lady. But if it is someone with chronic medical condition and other risk factor in the lifestyle, then you can think about blood clot as well. And then another mistake, Mavish, that you made was when I asked you, you told me that you will be able to go to the this will be a daycare procedure and you will be discharged in one day. So you said like that, right?
Yes.
So it is not a daycare. Daycare means that patient will be discharged the same day. It is written she will stay in the hospital for one day after the surgery. That was the thing you had to tell her.
Okay.
Daycare means discharging on the same day.
Right. So here a patient needs to stay for a one night. Had to spend the one night over there in a hospital.
Yeah, so it means like after the surgery, she will stay for one day in the one day means whole one day and one night. It means that. And you will be discharged at this line as well when you are medically and socially fit for discharge. If you are doing fine, then we will be discharging you after one day.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so most of the time, if it is a counseling about a procedure, the information will be already there in the task. Instead of assuming anything, you should be saying that. In case if you have forgotten the information, then you can take your task again and confirm instead of saying wrong information, right? You can read your task again and then say the thing from there. Let me check. Can you please excuse me for a second? Check from the task and then tell that thing to the patient. Okay. So mostly, like it will be written in the task if you are discharging him in one day, in 2 days, on the same day. So according to the task, you can mention. No time limit is mentioned. Then you can give a broader statement like you will be discharged after the surgery once you are doing fine. You will be shifted in recovery room. We will be seeing your observations, and according to your recovery, we will be discharging you. So once you are medically and socially fit, we will be discharging you. And if patient still wants a timeline, then you can say normally within a day or so we can discharge you. I will discuss with my senior and I will update you about that. If there is a concern about scar, then yeah, scars will be small. Along with that, in the beginning they will be red and obvious, but they will fade over time. And we will be using some techniques in which the scar formation will be less. Okay, and mostly we will be using dissolvable or non-dissolvable sutures. So mostly we are using dissolvable. So if Sometimes it's mentioned even in the task, but mostly we are using them. So you don't have to come to the hospital for the removal of stitches. They will start to disappear by themselves. And rest of the things will be according to your task. Like if patient is patient is having some concern about eating, you can tell the patient that you will be returning to normal diet after the surgery. It depends on your recovery, on your overall health. We will be updating you about that. If patient is asking about exercises, then same way you will be telling the patient that we will be guiding you about that. Driving, again, within a week or so. If it is a keyhole surgery, within a week or so. If it is an open surgery, then it will require more time. And patient can be having concern about sexual activity, then you can advise in the same way. Returning to work will be in 1 to 2 weeks, depending on patient's recovery and general health. Okay, there was another part of this station because I was not able to answer any concern, so I could not bring that up. That was Jehovah's Witness. This patient was Jehovah's Witness. So if patient is Jehovah's Witness and he is refusing blood, so you can ask this patient, because some of them, they refuse only blood. Some of them refuse blood products as well. So you can ask, do you refuse only blood or blood products as well? So if he is refusing only blood, then we can, if needed, we can give him blood products. If he is refusing both of them, then we should be respecting his decision. But along with that, we are going to document all this conversation for our safety as well, right? Because you can tell this patient that sometime it is very important to give the blood and blood products during the surgery if there is blood loss. But since we have to respect his views, then you can discuss about documentation. You can mention this Jehovah Witness Committee as well. And along with that, there are certain forms that should be filled by the patient for this bloodless surgery. And we have to make some special arrangements for that lady. These special arrangements will vary, and the surgery for the bloodless surgery will be only performed in the centers who are specialized in these surgeries. If the one center is not specialized in these kind of surgery, they cannot proceed with that. Although this is not for the exam, just for the general knowledge. So they can refer this patient to some other facility who are performing this bloodless surgery. And you can say that we will make some special arrangements for you and we respect your decision. We will document it. We will be involving your Jehovah's Witness committee as well. Along with that, in pre-op assessment, if there is any anemia, we have to correct it before going for the surgery, because we know anemias and some other things that can precipitate blood loss during the surgery. We have to correct these things first, and then we have to proceed with the surgery because it was an elective surgery. If it is an emergency, then rules will slightly vary. But for elective surgeries, you have to follow these things. Okay, so that was it. Any questions? Yes.
Dr. Kurat, I have a question here. In a case of the Jehovah's Witness, and when patient is asking for a bloodless surgery, usually they have a card. It's an advanced directive sort of a card for the emergency situation. We can ask to the patient that do you have that card, and if we see that card, then we will be more clear about that, whether you can receive the blood or alternative product of the blood. Can we ask about that card?
Yeah, you can ask about that.
Okay.
If patient is unconscious, we can check about the bracelet. I think they usually have a card or a bracelet, some form of identification. You have to check for that. You can ask that.
Okay. Yeah, okay, because it will help us to make a decision that whether, because it's everything is mentioned over that